October 15th, 2018. This is the third in a series about my journey with PMO. I want to talk about the very beginning. I talked about the antecedents of it in the last two videos, but now I want to talk about the very beginning. I was involved, I'm a teacher, and I was involved with one of my students. Now, she was a grown-up, she was 25, but I was involved with her. She was a smoking hot woman. We were having a lot of hot sex, but I was married to somebody else, and I felt some shame and some guilt about that. And I knew I was doing something wrong. Something deep in my soul knew there was something wrong. So I finally said to her one night, I said, we can't do this anymore. This is just wrong. And so that was the good, healthy side of me. But then what I didn't know was that I was powerless. I had no idea I was powerless. And so about 4 days later, I called her, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. Come on back to me. And so she came back and we got involved again for another 10 days. And then I started feeling guilty again. And I said, oh, we can't do this anymore. This is wrong. It's sinfulness, baby. We can't do it. I didn't really use terms like sinfulness. I just said, this is bad. We can't do it. I feel guilty. Something can't be honest about it. So I said, we got to stop. She said, okay, we'll stop. And so about 3 or 4 days later, I called her, oh, baby, I was wrong. Please come back to me. And, I did that kind of extreme thing from being totally in the addiction to totally, just purified, holier than thou, bending steel by just looking at it, type stuff, back and forth for weeks. I actually did it for 4.5 months. And finally, even as patient a woman she was, she had enough to say, look, this is too crazy. I'm done. She was done. And so I thought, well, okay, cool. I'm going to focus on my recovery because I'm addicted to masturbation. I'm cheating on my wife. So, I'm going to meetings and stuff. And at one of the meetings I was going to, I met this woman. A big, tall, ugly woman. I don't like tall women. I don't like ugly women. But she was in touch with her feelings more than any human I'd ever known in my life. And I was inexorably attracted. I was like, oh! I was like a moth to a flame. I couldn't stop. I was so attracted to her. But since I was a sex addict and had no sexual boundaries, even though when I would get close to her, I would say, well, let's express this sexually. And she would always do it. And I could always talk her into it. Now here comes the extremely crazy part. See, sex addiction is insanity. Because in my mind, we were being orally sexual, but we weren't being traditionally or penile-vaginally sexual. So in my mind, I was rationalizing we weren't having sex and I really wasn't cheating on my first wife. Now that's insane. We had an American president like that. President Clinton did that a while back, rationalized that. And so how did this start? What happened was I had a music school in the early 80s and in the beginning of the 90s. And we had mirrors. MTV had come out. It was very big. And so we had mirrors all around our studio so that people would see the videos they shot. They could practice how they were holding the guitar and holding the microphones and careening and caroming around like that. And anyway, caroming around. And so I invited her over one day. And at that point, I had traditional sex with her in front of a mirror. And that's what broke my denial. I looked at that myself in the mirror and I felt so disgusted with myself. I'm having sex with somebody I don't really even like, who I'm not attracted to, just because they're available. And I thought, this is revolting and disgusting and nasty, and I'm doing it. But the mirror is what broke the denial. Then I could see it, because then I had to come to a question. I left my first wife. But I was in a custody case for my daughter, and I knew that I would get to court and I would be asked a couple of questions. Are you involved with anyone else? And then I would have to eat, because I was still married to her. We weren't divorced yet. The question would be, I would have to lie, say, no, I'm not. And if I lied, I might drink alcohol again, because if you lie, you'll drink because you have to be honest. Or if they say, are you involved with someone else, they say, well, then you can't have custody of your daughter. And that's what did it. That's the moment. That's what we call hitting bottom. When you're about to lose something, you cannot live without. And I couldn't live without my daughter. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. But I couldn't live without my sobriety either. So I had to choose. And that was the day, on the 26th of June, 1990, 28 years, 3 months and 20 days ago, but who's counting? Me, that's who's counting. I stopped masturbating and I stopped cheating on people. And I haven't done that, going on 3 decades now. It's been the best thing that I've ever done after stopping drinking for me, because I used to drink a lot and I don't drink anymore for 30 years. It opened up my life in lots of ways, and I'll tell you about how it opened up life in lots of ways in the next video. But that's how the rubber hit the road. Thanks. See you in the next video.